our next guest sort of brings joy and happiness wherever he goes, and he would have been a fixture in so many of our lives as you set out for school or set out for work. He just brightened up the day. His days were whack-a-days, really, and he's just handed Jacqueline and myself a badge to make us smile, and it says, have a utterly brilliant day, and it's by the one and only Mr. Timmy Mallett. Timmy, very good to see you.
What a pleasure to be here, Amy.
Hi, Timmy.
Well, thanks, Jackie. Thanks.
See that pleasure and that upbeatness that you've got there, and that happiness. Is that a big weight? Is that a big responsibility on your shoulders?
No, it's dead easy. It's about the joy of living in it. Isn't it great? Aren't we lucky? Hey, it's lovely to see you again. It really is a great pleasure.
Lovely to see you. And the reason we're talking to you, it's in honour of another man. It's your brother Martin.
Oh, thank you.
And you've brought out this book, and we're talking about this cycle journey you did, 2,500 miles from your home in England to a place called Santiago de Compostela. Is
That's
that
correct.
Right?
Well done.
Right.
Well.
And it's in memory of your brother Martin. Martin was born with Down syndrome, and he had died. We're going back 2018, just a few days earlier, when you started this bicycle trip. Could you please tell us about Martin?
Yes, I will. This was a really thrilling thing to undertake, to do the ancient pilgrimage route, which has been around for 1,000 years. Back in the Middle Ages, 250,000 people would travel right across Europe from anywhere they lived to Santiago de Compostela and back, because in the cathedral there, supposedly the remains of St. James the Apostle, the brother or cousin or drinking buddy, I suppose, of Christ. And there he is, St. James the Apostle, and the idea is you go on your pilgrimage. And I really like the idea of cycling from home alone across 3 European countries there and back again, and painting the adventure as I go. The idea being to reach your potential. You know, that thing of just being the best you can possibly be, and see if I can actually physically do it. And I'm inspired by my brother Martin, because Martin, with his language and learning difficulties, still reached his potential every single day of his life. He lived in the moment. If he was here now, Martin would say, "Ma, Baba," and he'd introduce himself. "My name's Martin," and then he'd give you a hug, Jackie, and he'd give you a hug, Eamon, and he'd be absolutely fascinated in the here and now of living. And that's an interesting thought, that. Because most of the time we're saying, wouldn't life be great if and when I get a promotion, when I get more money, when I get those new clothes, when I've gone on holiday, at the weekend, I can't wait till. What about right here, right now?
In the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And it just, I looked at how Martin lived and thought, yeah, I like that. I like that idea of being in the now. So to do a journey like this in the now means I'm not actually going to plan where I'm going to stay, or what I'm going to eat, or any of those other things that we would normally take for granted. That, okay, I've got a trip coming up, I'm going to make sure I have done this, this and this. You plan, if you like, for being vulnerable, for finding yourself in a situation. Let's see how you cope with it. If you're hungry now, you go to your fridge. If you're tired, you go to your bed. But what do you do on a journey like this when you wake up in the morning and I don't know which way I'm going to go, come to the crossroads, left or right? What am I going to eat? Who am I going to meet? Where am I going to stay tonight?
Did you ever stop and ask Martin?
Oh, often. I found a really unusual thing happened. I named my bike Martin, and I started talking to him. "Come on, Martin, let's see how we get on here." And I'd hear his voice,
yes,
and get that little comfort hug around my shoulders from my big brother. Now, the thing about having a Down syndrome brother as your big brother, when we were younger, there was always somebody to play the games. "Come on, Martin, let's play this." "Yeah." "Let's do this." "Yeah." And there's a little photo in the book of me and Martin as cubs. We would go on cycle rides together, and he liked cycling, and you could see his concentration on not where we're heading for or where we've been, but on the here and now of cycling. Oh my goodness, is that it? Is that all you have to think about? Yeah, right here, right now.
Are you religious? Because it is sort of viewed as a religious journey, isn't it, Santiago de Compostela? My priest was obsessed with it.
Who is?
My priest was obsessed with it. He was always going on about Santiago de Compostela. He wanted to go there before he died. And are you religious?
I've got a spirituality. That's certainly the case, Jackie. But the thing with it is that there's sort of four elements to doing that pilgrimage route. There's the historical. You know, it's been done for 1,000 years. You're going in the path of loads of other people. It's cultural because you're different foods and different aspects of how people live. It's physical because can I actually cycle up the Pyrenees? Can I cope with lashing rain and torrential weather? Because I went in the Beast from the East, you know, where it was not a jolly, that's for sure. And then there's the spirituality part of it, you know, what's the meaning of life? And that's dead easy. It's, you know, a comfortable bed, something nice to eat, a smile on somebody's face, and, you know, somebody slipping on a banana skin and a good joke.
Well, as if all of that wasn't enough to consider, wasn't difficult enough. What a lot of you will not know about Timothy Mallett is that he is a painter. And when I say he's a painter, I don't mean he paints whole stairs and landings or front doors or anything like that. He
Fine
is
art.
an artist. Fine art,
Thank you.
Jacqueline, is the right term. And when you see the examples of his fine art, I think you will agree. I'm just going to show Jackie some of these. I mean, it's quite, you sort of want to say, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's,
when you look
it
at
is
this.
really fine.
So you're on a
art.
bike.
Yes.
You've got, I presume, an easel,
No,
canvas.
I haven't got an easel because it's too heavy to carry.
Right, well,
so
how on earth do you paint these
so
landscapes?
I'm going to do watercolours, you know, those landscape telescopic watercolour images, and I'm going to paint acrylic pictures around about A3 size. So bigger than A4, but how do you carry those canvases? Can't take canvases, you can't take boards. They're too heavy. Weight's an issue. So I used foam boards covered with acrylic paper, and I prepped all those up beforehand. And I could carry around about 40 or 50 of those at a time. And so I would paint either from the back of the bike, either during the moment on the day, or if it's the weather's too awful, then I'll do a quick sketch or take a photo on my phone and paint up the images that evening in my accommodation. And it became
to avoid
really...
the beast from the east.
Oh, beast from the east. I mean, that's not an easy thing to cope with, you know, and
There's
when
so-
the weather's in your face.
There's so many. There are so many
And
paintings.
so good, Jackie.
And so good.
And the first time I realised Timothy did this is that he had an exhibition in the art shop where I live, right? And I thought he was kidding me. I thought this was like, you know, but, you know, there it was for real. You're for such a funny man, you're a very serious man, you're a very talented man. When all of this came to an end, you did the journey in praise and remembrance of Martin. What did you learn about yourself?
I learned the importance of having a go. You know, dreaming big. Somebody said to me along the way, dream big and your life can be big. And I wondered whether it was the drink talking. It just sounded rather nice. I quite liked the resonance of that. But then you look at it the other way, dream small, and your life could, the other alternative, be small. And I like the idea of dreaming big. You know, set the bar high, Eamon. Let's go for the best we can be, Jackie. And if you don't succeed in that, at least you've had a go. And that's a rather thrilling thing to do. Hey, I've got a little treat for you here.
Which is?
Along the way,
Yes.
At Martin's funeral, my big brother Paul found a bunch of Martin Mallett name tags. You know the things that your mum sews in your
For
clothes?
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, here, can you use these? And somebody said, well, why don't you use them to mark your journey? And that's what I did. So when I came to a wayside memorial or a nice view or a church or a castle or just somewhere special, or you meet somebody nice, you give them a little Martin Mallett name tag. And it became a way of measuring the journey. And Martin was with me all the way on that. And in the front, you'll see the gorgeous pink map. I mean, that's a very Timmy colour in the front of my book. But every single Martin Mallett name tag right across Europe is marked there. And inside the book is the GPS and what 3 words code.
Yes,
so you can
yes.
see exactly where they are.
Get
And here's
out
the
of
thing.
it. Get out of it. How incredible is that?
I got one for you too. So if you don't
That's
mind, because
lovely.
you're part of my journey.
Oh,
I'm going to put
goodness.
this into your studio today. So I'm going to put
Yeah.
this in your studio,
Yeah.
and that means that forever in a day, Martin's here with us,
Yeah.
and he's part of the journey. And his adventure, my adventure with him in Utterly Brilliant, will be here in your studio today.
Okay.
beautiful.
And we'll find a place. You decide where
hiding
in the
place,
studio.
yeah.
But look, since we're talking about studios, and you are, well, a TV legend, a TV veteran, And TV has changed so much.
It does, rather, doesn't it?
And a lot of people will know you from breakfast time. A lot of people know you from being a child, from TVAM days. And we were about to pay tribute to you because, you know, the most famous record you recorded was...
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. That you wore for the first time today? Oh, yeah.
Except, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Right? We went to play this and a female member of staff in here felt that it was inappropriate.
You're kidding?
I know, I'm not kidding.
Oh, dear.
And then everybody stops, and these are the times we live in.
Yeah.
And we stop and you think, is it inappropriate?
Well,
Why is it inappropriate?
He didn't write the song, did he?
No, I didn't write it. No,
Just a
I
cover.
recorded it.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
very
funny
proud
then,
of that song. It's good fun.
It's the times we're in.
You have to think twice about
You have to think 3 times,
everything.
4 times,
Yes.
5 times about everything. People want to wake up being offended now. In your days, people wanted to wake up
And have a laugh.
Have a laugh.
Yeah.
Now people want to wake up first thing in the morning and have you sacked.
Oh, dear.
They want you offended. Do you miss television? Do you miss the involvement, the daily involvement, or what do you still want to do?
I got lots of things I want to do, and I'm really proud of my TV shows and my radio shows and my record. In fact, it was #1 around the world. And I'm delighted with what I've achieved in that. But, you know, there are lots of things I want to do. Lots of things I want to achieve. The painting is all-consuming. It's about telling a story through paint and just getting better at it. To have I'm thrilled that my paintings are collected around the world, and the people you meet. This one here, the blue shutters.
That's
there.
my favourite one.
Is it?
Yeah,
You
that's
want to know the story with that?
Yeah.
So I stop for 10 seconds to take a photo of the wisteria around the blue shutters because it's a beautiful, pardon me, beautiful day.
Yeah.
I see this lovely view and I think that's quintessentially springtime and gorgeous. And as I'm taking the photo, these 2 French ladies behind me go, "Bonjour, monsieur, blah, 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 blah. Can I help you?" I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just taking a photo of your lovely shutters and wisteria." And they said, "Come and look at our garden, and if you'd like to paint it." So I said, "I will paint it, and I'll paint you in it." And so the lady sits down and she reads me Cyrano de Bergerac in French. A lovely story of Roxanne, you know,
Yeah.
and the bloke with the big nose.
Yep.
And at the end of it, I say, "Well, look, I better be heading off. Thanks very much for the tea and for your company this afternoon." And they said, no, stay and have a meal and there's a bed for the night. And I'm going, this is amazing. A 10-second photo leads to an act of random kindness. And last night, at my book launch, she turned up. She flew in from Bordeaux.
It's like, this is your life.
It was one of those moments when I'm going, there's a woman I've met once, and for her, she was prepared to make that journey to come over here for the launch of my... I was really touched with that. It was one of those moments I'm thinking, crikey. That's what happens when you plan for the unexpected, but just see where you meet.
Did you bring a mallet on your journey with you?
That's a very nice idea. There wasn't quite enough room to bring them out. I brought one today.
So why did you
You're
have
never
to
gonna
ask
get away
that?
with this one.
Aim's thinking, why can't it be a proper one?
Well, Timmy Mallett, can we
Exactly.
say utterly brilliant? You know, good luck with the book, which is called Utterly Brilliant as
Thank
well,
you.
isn't it? And
Thank you.
do you know what? As you say, because of that, because of you, because of the little mark you're going to leave in
Yeah.
the studio, Martin will always be
Oh,
here.
God bless you both. And
right.
it's been a real pleasure to share this journey with you and to say how nice it is and how lucky we are. You've made my day today. Thanks.
Oh,
And
Beautiful
you ours.
paintings
And
as
you
well.
ours. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about sustainability at the supermarket. What's your view about going along to the supermarket and have your own container? So if you're getting your grapes or your potatoes or your tomatoes,
Well,
or
I
whatever,
did that every single day, of course, because I've got
Yeah.
my 2 panniers and I'm going to have to carry something with me to eat tonight. So that'll be a sandwich.
Well, we've got.
Yeah.
They're going to try it at Asda. They're going to try it at Asda. We're going to be talking to the man from Asda.
Oh, good.
Right after this. Don't go away.
Across the UK.